Well, what's not normal is the scar activity in this region. I think this is where they're making the acid.
Any idea how?
I want you to find that out. Put a stop to it.
Found the relic. Scars have done something to it. It's gone volatile.
For those of us who don't speak Shaper, that's bad, right?
Obviously. Freelancer, you'll need to silence the relic.
What is up, you guys? This is All Danny Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you another Anthem video. And with this video I'm going to be giving you is going to be the Interceptor build, and this is going to be a sniper build. So this build in particular is going to be very powerful for both single target and AoE crowd control, not necessarily crowd control, but AoE burst damage as well. You're going to be consistently putting out massive amounts of damage and high amounts of crit damage if you do hit the crit spots. So we're going to go ahead and take a look. So I'm going to be showing you everything such as the components, strike system, assault system, both weapons, support system. I'm pretty sure I just said that. But also I'm also going to be explaining the stats as well. What stats you should go for and how they work, why you want to go with them, etc, etc. So first things first is going to be the weapon. So there's going to be 3 weapons. You have Truth of Tarsus, and then the Devastator and the Legendary Devastator. I don't know what the Legendary Devastator would be called since I don't have it, but you're gonna have is all under the variant of Devastator, which it says ammunition explodes on contact, meaning it's an explosive sniper, and it takes about 2 seconds or less to get that sniper charged and hit. And it doesn't just hit a single target, but it has a pretty big radius as well. So if there's a bunch of enemies clustered up together, it's going to be an easy way of just burning groups of enemies down. Now with Truth of Tarsus, you get hitting weak points on enemies under a status effect will set off a chain combo. That to me is alright, and it doesn't, I don't really care for it. You know, you can just use the regular Devastator without having to worry about using or having the perk, because this perk is not that great in my opinion. It's really not. It would have been better if you get something like maybe you get a faster charge speed, or if you hit a weak point on an enemy, it hits other nearby enemies' weak points or causes them to bleed or something. I think that would have been a little bit better. But the stats you want to go for on your sniper is going to be physical damage, because physical damage counts towards blast damage and your weapon damage. Blast damage, I looked it up and I tested it myself, is physical damage. It is not considered elemental damage. Elemental damage is only fire, ice, and acid. Or not acid, acid is physical. Fire, ice, and electric. And then the next thing you're going to want to go for is with physical weapon damage, and then you also want to go with that blast damage. So having all 3 is going to make it very, very, very useful, making it a lot stronger, because that's basically triple the amount of damage you're going to have. And then, you know, you can always also go for a sniper damage as well, a sniper percentage damage. Now for the secondary weapon, it's up to you. It doesn't matter what weapon you use. I'm using the Siegebreaker because it gives me 18% weapon damage. Now, you do have other options such as the Avenging Herald, which is a very, 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 very strong pistol. I would highly recommend using it if you have it with good rolls that can benefit also with the sniper. Also I have, I believe, yeah, so my Radiant Fortress gives me 13% physical damage, which is pretty good for both explosive and weapon damage. And then there's just a bunch of other weapons. But now I want you guys to keep in mind, if you see a symbol that looks like this right here on my Elemental Rage, on the critical damage it says 50% critical damage, it has that gear system, or that gear symbol, or cog symbol, whatever it's called. That means it is only for the weapon itself. It is not going to be whole for everything else. The javelin symbol, the body symbol, is for everything. It's for all items, not just that specific item. So for example right here with the Truth of Tarsus, as you can see, my heavy pistol, shotgun, and grenade launch ammo all three of those is for all items, not just this item. But that physical 75% damage is only for the sniper. So I just want you guys to make sure you get that, because I don't want you to, you know, have a weapon that has like 150% physical damage, blast damage, sniper damage on one weapon that's like a pistol, and then you're wondering why you're not hitting like 200k damage for some reason. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at your assault system or abilities. So for the assault system, you're also going to want to make sure you do have the right stats, but if you don't, it's okay. If you have Ruthless Stalker, this will make up a lot, because what the Ruthless Stalker does, it says hitting an enemy increases weapon damage by 60% for 20 seconds. And the cooldown on this is only 14 seconds. So you're going to have this back up before the timer runs out, which is really good. And when you use it again, you're going to have that duration up again. All you have to do is just throw it in the direction of an enemy, because it will hit an enemy in the certain direction because it seeks them out. Another good one to go with would be Serpent's Veil or Venom Bomb, or whatever the Masterwork version is called. This is good because not necessarily for the melee damage, but so that way you can apply the damage, or not damage, but the acid damage on enemies, so that way you'll prime them, and then with the Truth of Tarsus, that's a detonator and you can combo off of them. And then another one that is pretty good is Bitter Harvest, as well as Absolute Zero. Absolute Zero because you can freeze them, and then Bitter Harvest is alright if you have blast damage on it. Pretty sure I don't actually have any blast damage, unfortunately, but this is, you can benefit from blast damage with this, as well as the Truth of Tarsus or Devastator. But my go-to ability would be the Ruthless Stalker, because of that 60% increase in weapon damage for the 20 seconds. Now for the strike system, it does not matter which one you're using as long as you have the stats for it. So for me, I personally would rather actually have Sanadine's Respite with the right stats on it, but since neither of them have the stats I want, like for example, if this one right here, if the physical 50% damage was for my javelin and not for the weapon, that means that would have made me want to use this more, but since I don't have it, I can't use it. That's why I use Sudden Death, because Sudden Death gives me weapon ammo, which is alright, I don't really need that, but it gives me the physical 20% damage, which means I'm doing 20% more damage with the weapon and the blast damage for my sniper. And now for the support system, obviously you're going to want to use Target Beacon. Target Beacon is going to allow you to do 33% more damage to that target, and then after that target's killed, it'll hop to another enemy, and then another for that whole 15 seconds. Once that 15 seconds is up, it'll disappear. Now for the stats you want to go for, you obviously want to try to get something that is going to help you do more damage with your sniper, such as physical damage, explosive, or sniper. But having survivability is also very important, so having a higher amount of armor is going to be good. Luck is also really nice to have as well, so that way you can have a higher chance of getting better quality items. And now for the components. So the components are going to be very important. So I'm using Battle Inscription. It's a purple one, and the reason why I'm using this is because it gives me 25% increase in my weapon damage, my base weapon damage. And then I'm using the Ultimate Inscription. I didn't want to have to use this one, but I'm using it because it gives me physical damage by 13%. And I'm not really utilizing my ultimate. Only time I use my ultimate with a sniper build is if I need to heal myself, or if I need to go and revive my allies. I don't use it to actually go and attack anyone with my sniper build. But if you can, I would highly recommend getting the Sniper Inscription. So if you can craft it, unfortunately I cannot craft the purple one yet until I get my Freelancer loyalty up maxed out with 3, but I would recommend getting the sniper rifle ammo and at Epic, and because it'll give you 5% more sniper damage and more ammunition, and then you can try to re-roll it for sniper damage, physical damage, explosive damage, whatever. And then for the third one, I'm using Way of Salvage. So with Way of Salvage, it increases your weapon magazine size by 30% and ammo drop rate by 50%, which is going to be really important for the sniper eventually. Not right now, not really for the ammo drop. You don't need to worry about your ammo, but with the collecting ammo increases weapon damage by 40% for 5 seconds. That is really good, but for right now, you're not going to really need to focus on that. And I'll let you know why in just a second. So you're going to also want to get Vengeance Matrix. So with Vengeance Matrix, it increases all your damage dealt by 50%. You're going to be doing a lot more damage, and you take 25% less damage. Now, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the opposite, kind of like the way, I don't think I have this perk anymore, or yeah, I don't have the engrave anymore. But it's not engrave, but the component, because there's one where you would deal more damage, but you would also take more damage. Now I think that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm not exactly sure, but you know, I'll take this 50% more damage, 25% less damage. And then on low health, when you are at low health, it'll even tell you low health. All your damage is also increased by 25% for 5 seconds. Really nice. And now this is going to be the reason why Way of Salvage isn't going to matter as much until, I'm assuming this is broken, but until this is fixed, Way of Salvage would be the best way to go. But Elusive Talisman increases your weapon damage by 25%, so that's really good. But the dashing, you have to dash 3 times to refill your weapon or your equipped weapon in your magazine. It's not just your primary, it's going to be for both primary and secondary. So the way this works is you dash 3 times, it refills your magazine, and it takes nothing. It doesn't take any extra ammo from your reserves or anything. So you're gonna have an infinite amount of ammo, which is going to be the most important perk or most important component to have in order to dish out as much damage as possible. And the last one is going to be Conductive Lattice. So Conductive Lattice, the reason why I'm using this isn't because of the electricity damage or the perk that it gives you, performing a small melee hit streak 3 times, or on the 3rd hit detonates an electric explosion. I'm not worried about that one. The one I like is the gear cooldown speed as well as electricity resistance, because I'm not worried about using my melee attacks. Now if I do need to use melee attacks, if they get too close, then having that is going to be really useful. But if you don't have Conductive Lattice, you can always use the I forgot what it's called, but it's Conductive something. Right over here. Conductive Augment. It does the same thing except without the legendary perk or masterwork perk. So you can also assume that the cooldown speed is also going to be 20%, as well as the electricity damage and electricity resistance also going to be 20%. So that is pretty much it with the build for the Interceptor, or for the sniper build. I do have other builds coming out as well. So I have a poison melee ultimate build, and then I also have a raw, just straight up heavy amount of melee damage. It is super powerful. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some gameplay with this build in action. And yeah, if this video helped you out, go and leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything, let me know down in the comment section, as well as I will try my best to answer them as to the best of my ability. If you guys want to see more build videos or more informational type of videos on the game itself, let me know as well, because I want to be able to create more content for you guys. I want to be able to help you guys, so help me help you. Anyways, that's pretty much it. This is all day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace. Also, before I forget, because I did forget, is your consumables. So you're going to have 3 consumable slots, and in each slot you're going to want to have a sniper sigil in them. You're going to want to have the epic, the blue, and the green. The reason why is because this is a sniper build. You're going to be sniping. Alright, so all you have to do is go to craft, and and then you go all the way and look for the sniper rifle sigils. They're all going to give you a certain bonus. The purple one's going to give you 30% bonus to sniper rifle damage and reserve ammo by 30% of base capacity. The blue one is going to give you 20%. The green one is going to give you 10%. So in total, you're looking at 60% increase in sniper rifle damage. This is going to be very important for any of the GMs you do, GM 1, 2, and 3. You can even do this if you do hard mode, but I would say it would be a waste. But doing GM 1, 2, and 3, you can probably even let it slide with GM 1 and not worry about the consumables. But GM 2 and 3, it is very important to have consumables. So those are going to be very useful to have. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Peace.
Even the way it dies is unnerving.
One of the